Check my email.
Start my work for the day.
Have a Skype meeting with my supervisor. Get a bit overwhelmed.
Don't Rock the Boat is a research-based theatre project that looks at the relationship between graduate students as well as their supervisors and how that relationship affects their well-being.
It's also a theatre, I guess what we call a theatre workshop, which is intended to mix live dramatized scenes with time for facilitated discussion to raise questions about graduate supervisory relationships and prompt critical reflection.
I see her massive list of publications. She's so accomplished. She has a couple of other master students. They are way further ahead in their research than me.
Student well-being is very dear to our hearts. We really want to do something about it. We know that as a matter of fact, student well-being impact on their ability to learn and to excel in their university life.
We've heard the different challenges that grad students experience, everything from affordability to funding to housing, as well as being able to navigate the relationship with their graduate supervisor. It's clear that, that relationship has impacted their well-being, and there's so much connection between teaching, learning, and well-being.
It's my fault if we get delayed at the research site. Sorry about that.
Delays happen.
Still, you are doing so much for me. Not every grad supervisor will give their student a ride like this.
We thought we would translate all those two-dimensional data into a theater by having someone actually to help us to translate some of the finding into a script that can be played out in a theater.
I think it's the discussions that you have after each scene or scenario that are very powerful. It's where a lot of the learning happens. It's where people can relate it to their own situation.
A lot of theatre uses talkback at the end, but very few examples that we know of would weave together the discussion with each of the scenes.
How many people here, first time you met your supervisor, your first supervisor, you just hit it off? Instant chemistry. Now you're smiling, sir. Did that happen to you? No. It did not. Other way, what was it like?
As a graduate student, I don't know what goes on in a faculty member's life, but seeing that project, doing the research, has made me more aware and more empathetic of faculty.
By going through a research-based theatre process, it forces me to essentialize what are the key ideas, what are the key themes. It allows me to edit down sometimes in a scene that is 3 minutes long, where it really would take most of the time 30 minutes to explain that.
Researchers I've talked to have spoken about getting in touch with their data in a way that they didn't think possible before. Really being able to see through the eyes of their participants or their research collaborators.
Research-based theatre is taking the information and the research outside of the universities and putting it into the hands of the communities that it's supposed to be serving.
I always told myself I'd be a good supervisor, a great mentor. I'll say something now, but she's already heading in. I'll just send her an email later.
I had the job of walking around with a little bell that signaled the end of the time for discussion. I have a little meditation bell, and people were incredibly engaged and engrossed in their conversations, and every time I rang that bell, it felt like there was a lot of energy in these discussions. It really reinforced for me the power of live theatre and the experiential part of learning.